Hi everybody, so it's that time of year where lots of camera manufacturers are releasing new products, and today I have the brand new and long awaited Fuji X-Pro 2. I've only got a short amount of time with it, so we're going to have a look at the camera itself and some of the key specifications. So here it is, the X-Pro 2. I've got a 35mm f2 lens on the front, which is brand new also from Fuji. And I thought it'd be really useful to compare the new X-Pro 2 versus the old X-Pro 1. And as you can see, they're very similar in style from the front. There's a few cosmetic differences, but we'll go through that. First thing really to point out is the grip. On the X-Pro 1, as you can see, it was quite shallow. They've raised it out on the X-Pro 2, and actually that makes a big difference when you're holding it. Okay, so what's the key specification? Well, it's got a newly developed, brand new sensor, a 24.3 million pixel X-Trans sensor, which is a CMOS sensor, and you know that's versus the 16 million pixel sensor from the X-Pro 1. So let's have a look at the back of the camera. And as you can see, again, very similar. Now there's been some commentary about, well, should Fuji put an angled screen on the back? Well, actually, they've kept true to the original design, and therefore this camera is extremely durable. And I think that's what it's designed to do, really, more than having screens that are angled. One thing they have changed, though, is the button layout. As you can see, the buttons on the X-Pro 1 here were on the left, and that could be quite annoying, actually, when you're looking through the viewfinder, because your left hand, needed to fit underneath your nose and your face. So they've moved that, and actually it means that you can keep your thumb on the right hand side of the camera at all times. Notice also that we've got this little rocker switch just here as well, which is much easier for navigating your way through menus, etc. So just like the front of the camera, the back also has a further raised grip here. Again, the thumb sits nicely there, really nice and comfortable. The exposure compensation dial has now got plus and minus 3 EV, whereas the X-Pro 1 on the, as you can see, was plus and minus 2. FN key in exactly the same position. I'm really pleased to see that they've kept with the old retro screw-in cable release as well on the shutter, which is awesome. Now the ISO is actually slightly different now. As you can see, again, going even more retro, you've got this pull-up dial here which you can move around the ISO. The ISO, by the way, keeps going right up to 12,800, which is great. So in comparison to the X-Pro 1 that was at 6,400 ISO. So massive improvement there. Okay, so next thing I want to look at is the viewfinder. The viewfinder's had a big makeover. It's very impressive when you look through it as an EVF. Kept true to the X-Pro 1 roots. You can use it as a daylight viewfinder as well, and the selector switch to do that is in exactly the same place, which is great. But also you've got a diopter, which is going to make a massive difference to anyone that's a spectacle wearer and needs to just tweak the viewfinder. The sensor itself to turn the viewfinder on and off is also slightly larger, as you can see, so a little bit more accurate in terms of sensitivity. The card slot is actually on the side now, rather than in the battery compartment like it was on the X-Pro 1, and I'm pleased to say there's 2 slots now, so 2 SD card slots. It's got a rubber seal around it, and it's important to note again that this camera is extremely durable and weatherproof. Some other spec improvements as well. If we go to the top, we can see that our shutter speed has increased from 4,000th of a second top speed on the X-Pro 1 to 8,000th on the X-Pro 2. One of the other things that I've noticed is the menu system. And if I switch it on just to let you guys have a look, as you can see, really crystal clear screen now, and the menu system really intuitive. Functionality on the left hand side all kind of makes sense. Really good to navigate your way through. So we'll have a quick look at the lens as well, which is also brand new from Fuji. It's a 35mm f2. It is weather resistant, which is great. 43mm filter thread at the front, and as I say, it's f2. Nice click aperture ring. It's in silver, and it's really smooth. Okay, so overall Fuji have done a great job here. They've kept true to the original and winning formula of the X-Pro 1, but done some key improvements, and I guess the biggest one is the sensor itself. 24 million pixel X-Trans sensor, which I'm sure is going to provide some incredible results. I can't wait to actually give it a try and have a look. For more information, why not visit us online or pop into one of your local stores. Thank you.